Testing. All right, good morning, everybody. In accordance with Section 45 and 53 of the Planning Act 1990 as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. The Committee of Adjustment considers applications for variances from the provisions of the zoning that applies to property, permission to extend or alter lawful non-conforming uses, and consent to sever property to create new lots. We acknowledge the land we're meeting on is a traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Committee of Adjustment public hearings are now conducted in a hybrid in-person and virtual format. Some applicants and participants will make their submissions in person, and others will participate virtually by electronic means through WebEx, an online digital platform. The meetings are also streamed on the Toronto City Planning YouTube channel, and anyone wishing to view the hearing may watch on YouTube. Those who want to participate virtually or have registered in advance will be connecting with their computer, tablet, smartphone, or telephone, and have the option of participating by video or audio only. All virtual participants will automatically be muted on entry. When your item is called, you will be unmuted by the moderator, one person at a time. We also ask you mute your devices until you are called on to speak. Those participating by video appearance will be temporarily upgraded to panelist, and when your item is being held. During that time, your camera will be enabled. You will only be visible during your 5-minute allotted speaking time, and at all other times, your video will be disabled and you'll be reinstated as an attendee. For both in-person and virtual participants, Committee of Adjustment staff will share presentations submitted in accordance with the written submission deadline. Those participating through WebEx are not allowed to use share screen or any other panelist controls during a video appearance. People attending in person today who wish to receive a copy of the decision of the committee on an application must fill out a decision request card, and those participating virtually need to submit a written request for a decision by email. Please ensure you include your name, your address, and email address because the Committee of Adjustment and the Toronto Local Appeal Body will be sending notifications and appeal updates by email. If you do not agree with the decision of the committee, you may be able to appeal the decision to the Toronto Local Appeal Body, or in some limited circumstances to the Ontario Land Tribunal. However, the provincial government amended the Planning Act and generally removed rights of third parties to appeal Committee of Adjustment decisions. Only the applicant, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, specified persons, and public bodies as defined in the Planning Act are permitted to appeal decisions of the Committee of Adjustment. Appeal instructions are set out at the bottom of the decision of the committee. Right, concerning the procedure today, I will call each item in the order listed on the agenda. When an application is uncontested, the agent or applicant may proceed with their presentation if desired. And when the committee does not require a presentation, applicants are to advise the chair should they wish to speak to the committee. Each speaker, including the applicant, agent, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee. I will comment when you are getting to your 5-minute mark. Any presentation or other materials you wish to submit to the committee must have been emailed in advance of the hearing. Staff and committee members cannot accept materials at the hearing. When addressing committee, please state your name and your address. Please remember to confine your remarks to the matters outlined in the application. The applicant or agent will proceed first. They'll make a presentation to the committee on the application. Please note, again, the committee may not entertain revisions to proposals at the hearing today. The committee may decide to defer the application if substantially revised, to ensure the revised application is accurate and that all those entitled to notice of the application are informed of the changes. Then, individuals either in support or opposed to the application will be invited to speak. Generally, we call on speakers in the hearing room first and then those participating on WebEx. Committee members may ask questions of each speaker after they have finished their presentation. And when all speakers are finished, the applicant or agent will have an opportunity to rebut those remarks that were raised by the speakers. This will mark the end of the discussion. The application will then be taken into committee for a decision. All right, Mr. Deputy Secretary Treasurer, I believe we have some minutes to confirm from the last
We
hearing.
do, Mr. Chair. Sorry, I apologize. Did you check if there were any conflicts?
Oh, sure. Staff and members, do we have any conflicts today's hearing? Yes, Mr. Marziari.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through you, I have a conflict with application number 1.
Okay, and your reason for the conflict?
The agent and I may work on a potential project.
All right, very well. So Mr. Marziari will step out for item number 1. Are there any other declarations of interest? Okay, I see not. All right, Mr. Deputy Secretary Treasurer, believe we have some minutes from the last meeting to confirm. I think it's, hello? I hear it coming. All right. We're just dealing with some technical difficulty. Very good. Well, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. I think it's gone. Okay, I think we resolved the issue. All right, Mr. Deputy Secretary Treasurer, believe we have some minutes to confirm from the last meeting.
We do. Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have minutes from our last meeting, May 21st. Present was Ms. Casson, Mr. Nipfeld, and Ms. Klein.
All right. Do I have a motion? Ms. Klein.
Yes, I will make a motion to approve those minutes from May 21st, 2026.
All right. We still have a little bit of reverb coming from one of our members, so staff are just trying to troubleshoot it.
Confirming online, Mr. Chair, sounds perfect.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Sankar Peralta. It's helpful. We've just got a little bit of reverb back in the chambers here, so we're just trying to deal with that. It looks like we got it sorted. Okay, great. Ms. Klein, I apologize for the interruption. I believe you were
Yes,
going to...
I was making the motion to approve the minutes from May 21st, 2026.
Fantastic. So would anyone like to second that motion? Ms. Sankar Peralta. Okay, all in favor? All right. That's motion passes. Okay. Do we have any files to close?
Through you, Mr. Chair, there are no files to close this morning.
All right. Okay, well, that takes care of our opening remarks. So we can now move to our first item of the day. But before
Miss-
we do, Mr. Marziari is going to step out.
Mr. Chair, we have 2 deferrals this morning.
Oh, great. Yes.
Coincidentally, it's the first one. It's the first 2.
All right. So we'll still maintain our order. So starting with item number 1, 35 Hadley Road. The purpose of this application is to legalize and maintain the existing conditions with respect to soft landscaping at the front and rear yard of the property and floor space index. Variances include front yard soft landscaping, rear yard soft landscaping, and FSI. On file, material from the applicant, report from community planning. We have a letter of objection signed by a number of area residents as well. Do we have our agent with us?
Yes, I'm online, sir. David Mackay, MHBC, 7050 Weston Road, Suite 230, Woodbridge, Ontario, L4L 8G7.
All right, thank you. Okay, sir, you've got a request, I believe, for deferral of the matter. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir. We've been talking with planning staff regarding the rear landscaping. Unfortunately, just because of the timeframes of when their report had to be done and just working through the details of that, we're trying to increase the amount of soft landscaping in the rear yard. And so to give us time to finalize those discussions, we are requesting the deferral, I believe, to the July 23rd meeting would be the next availability. We also need to just make sure that there was some issues with some of the calculations in that regard. So we just want to make sure that we're presenting the final and complete package, including hopefully an agreement with planning staff.
All right,
So
very
that's
well.
the request for the deferral.
Mr. McKay, have you had the opportunity to review the public file, specifically the letter of objection from some area residents?
I have, sir, yes.
And I ask, might there be an opportunity with deferral to either acknowledge or address or reach out to some residents to see if we can hone in on some of the issues? when we come back?
Certainly, yes, certainly we can try to address a number of them. A number of the comments were basically why wasn't this dealt with in the original approvals? I can't really address that. I wasn't there through the construction, and things have changed over time with the family situation. So we can certainly reach out to them to see if we can discuss matters with them. However, no guarantee that we will resolve matters with them, but we
All
will
right.
try.
Okay, very well, thank you. Okay. We do have a speaker in the gallery. Please come on down to the podium and make sure the mic's on. Over here, because we have a microphone. Welcome. Good morning. Your name and address, please.
Good morning. Andy Wilson, 41 Hadley Road.
All right. Have any comments with respect to the request for deferral today?
I do, sir.
Okay.
We asked that the applicant's last-minute request for deferral be denied and the application heard today. This has already been an excruciatingly long process, starting with the 2021 Committee of Adjustment hearings, which resulted in the house being built with aspects that were outside of the permissions that had been granted. It took a long time for this to get to the point last year where the city inspected and started enforcement. And at that point, the whole process was brought to a stop when the December 2025 Committee of Adjustment process was filed. Hearings on that application were scheduled and then postponed, again extending the window of non-enforcement of the violations of the 21 Committee of Adjustment permissions. Any further deferral and delay would extend further the unhappy process the neighborhood is being put through. We see the city staff's report recommends the minimum conditions on any front yard variance, refusal of the rear yard variance, and takes no position on the third floor variance. The deferral request seems to relate solely to the rear yard variance, which has been recommended for refusal. If, as seems likely, already built elements for which the variance is requested are refused and or varied, they will need removal and or remediation. It seems to be against the interest of the community to further defer enforcement of these remedies. If the applicant wants to make a request for variance that might be approved, he's still able to do that the way everyone else has to get approval and then undertake construction. completing construction in knowing violation of approvals received in a contested hearing process should not entitle a party to much benefit of the doubt when they are requesting further accommodations in the process. On balance, I think it should be clear to the committee members that the greater good for the community is done by hearing the application and ending the dragged out process the neighborhood has been put through.
All right, thank you. It seems so, do you think if we were to allow a deferral of this, do you think that you would be able to make some progress with the applicant before coming back? I mean, it seems like they are going to make some changes that are going to, I guess, reduce the variances, I would imagine. I don't know, they may not. But if they do, is that not maybe a step towards resolution? Not that it would get approved,
I'm
but
sure you've read the submissions and have some familiarity with the difficulty that this process has caused in the neighborhood. I will simply say it has not been our experience that negotiation works.
okay, fair enough. I'm going to ask my colleagues if they have any questions. All right. Sankar Peralta. There we go. None. Okay, thank you, sir. I'm going to turn it back to Mr. McKay. Actually, before I do we have anyone online to speak to this matter? None. And nobody else in the gallery. Okay, let's go back to Mr. McKay and provide him an opportunity to respond to the comments that were made by one of the neighbors, Mr. Andy Wilson.
Yes, thank you, sir. The approval granted previously, it obviously resulted in construction that was ongoing. So what the neighbor has referred to in terms of a long process is that construction process. The actual committee of adjustment process was started, as he has noted, in December. There were, we were working through matters with staff in terms of some of the clarifications. As the committee knows, there's always back and forth between the zoning examiners and the applicants to verify the variances, and that's what caused the first deferral of the application being moved forward, not through the committee, but in terms of with staff, in terms of the scheduling of this hearing. As I said, unfortunately, staff have concerns with the landscaping. We're trying to improve that, and simply a month deferral will allow us to improve the variance requested, as well as to correct any notice matters that in terms of the notifications to the area, in terms of the notice for the variances. Lastly, I'd like to note that while there are a number of neighbors that are upset by the construction and what's happened, there are also in the neighborhood and submitted to the committee a number of support letters for the variances. So I'd say it's a divided community in terms of the request, and a 1 month deferral will simply improve matters in terms of the variance requests and hopefully satisfy the adjacent neighbor. So I would again request that this move be deferred to the next available meeting, which is approximately 1 month away. Thank you.
All right, very good. Questions? Yes, Ms. Sankar Peralta.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair, I wanted to find out, I know that you've been going back and forth with zoning examiners, et cetera. Why have you not dealt with this? If it's only going to take a month, why did you not do it a month ago before this sort of came in to play? You know what I mean? Like, why was this sort of not done? I'm trying to understand that this timing from December to now June. And then I have a part two, so go ahead.
Sure. In terms of the zoning components, that happened between when the application was processed from January to March. The discussions on the rear yard landscape percentage with planning staff came up a week ago. Because as committee is aware, planning staff only review the applications and provide their reports a week or two in advance of the hearing. So our discussions happened, a week or so ago, And, we're talking about trying to finesse the backyard so it's functional and increase the landscaped area as well. So that's why the deferral request is being requested. It's not like we've been talking about the backyard portion of it for the last 3 months. It's been a week and a half. So we just need some additional time to work through that with city staff.
Understood. And part two to my question, and this is just taking into consideration the neighbors who have been sort of at this for a long time, and we don't take those kinds of comments very lightly. It's really something that we consider as well, so that they feel heard. I just wanted to know if you are going to utilize this time, pardon me, to not only look out for, what we need to do, what planning is requesting of you, and sort of dealing with the adjacent neighbor, but the neighborhood and their concerns in general. Will you be revisiting and listening to them as well?
Yes, and where we can adjust the requests, we will do so. Obviously I can't change history, um, like not any of us can, but we will. We've got the comments. We can try to address that and incorporate them into the when we come back to committee. And certainly, we can reach out to them. I'm not sure if they will talk to us or not, but we'll certainly make an effort to try to address concerns.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Okay, let's take this matter into committee. Yes, Ms. Ankar Peralta.
If my colleagues aren't ready for a motion, I can. Just want to
Sure,
make sure they're okay.
perhaps just note.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm supportive of a deferral. There's these deficient, the I guess where they're short on the soft, the rear and the front. I really think some more work needs to be done on this application. Not only from I mean, I think I have some technical questions about where the water's going. I'm not even convinced that the water is being maintained on the property. It looks like we've got hardscaping right to the property line. So I would be in support for those reasons. I suspect my colleagues feel similar, but I'll allow you to please.
Yeah,
proceed.
I do concur with you, Mr. Chair, and I want to let the neighbors know that I did ask those questions specifically because I want to provide that opportunity, maybe, to sort of, not so much as rid the past, but look forward to the future as something that could potentially be resolved in an amicable way. So I'm willing to put my trust in that, and I'll put forward a motion to defer this application sine die, to allow the applicant to work with planning, to work with the adjacent neighbor, and to work with the neighborhood to address the issues coming back.
All right, very good. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Ms. Klein, thank you. All in favor? All right, that's unanimous. That application is deferred.
Thank you.
All right, item number 2, 178 JOICEY Boulevard. The purpose of this application is to permit the lot coverage and side yard setbacks of a new detached dwelling. 3 variances: lot coverage, east side yard setback, and west side yard setback. On file, I've got material from the applicant, community planning letter, and a letter in objection from the South Armor Heights Residents Association. We have our agent with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and address, please.
Giorgio Lolos, 220 Duncan Mills Road, Suite 217.
All right. And your reason for the deferral request today, sir?
The deferral request is unfortunately acted upon that the homeowner did not sort of post the Committee of Adjustments sign at the property prior to the deadline. So the deferral was executed and requested by the Committee of Adjustments Secretary Treasurer.
Okay. All right. Very well. We have some other speakers. Is anybody in the gallery here for this item? We have a neighbor online. Okay.
Danny Mitonides is unmuted.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Mitonides. Are you with us?
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that.
Your name and address for the record, sir.
It is 176 JOICEY Boulevard, next door neighbor,
Okay, and your name?
and Danny Mitonides.
Okay, very well. Sir, do you have any comments to make with respect to the request for deferral?
Right, and it's just an inquiry more than anything else at this point. I just wasn't clear with what they were planning to do in terms of the property. I thought everything had been done and the house been built, and I'm not sure what else was needed at this point. And I can't really understand, nor can my real estate agent understand what the request is for.
Okay, very well. Members, I presume no questions. Okay. All right. Is there anything else? Mr. Mitonides, I'm going to allow Mr. Lolos to respond, and he's listening in and provide him an opportunity to respond to your question. But before I do that, do you have anything else to add with respect to the deferral request?
Well, that's the whole thing. I don't know what they're deferring. The property has been built and it's been up for sale for better part of, I guess in September it'll be up a year. So I don't know what else is being applied for. This deferral for what? Are they building something else on the property? Are they building a cabana? Are they building, I don't know what this is for.
All right.
So I don't know exactly should I object or not object when I don't have an understanding of what they're trying to do.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we will hopefully find that out. So just hold on. All right, let's go back to Mr. Lolos.
Sort of answer to the questions. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. And I might also just add, I noticed on the purpose of the application, it doesn't note that this is an existing or an as-built condition. And maybe you can clarify that.
The house is a new dwelling. We had a committee of adjustments hearing about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So it did go to the committee for side yard setbacks and some variances that we were requested. The purpose of this hearing moving forward is the unfortunate truth of the matter is that our existing foundation structure still conforms with the original variances that we achieved and requested and executed at the original committee hearing date. The unfortunate fact is that the encroachments of the minor numbers that are being sort of requested is for the application of the exterior wall finish, the cladding, the stucco application. This is the minor variance that we're asking for, is the encroachment of the stucco thicknesses outside the foundation wall, which does conform to our original application. That plays a role on both east and west side yard setbacks. The coverage is a unfortunate aspect that's where there was an existing pool in the property that we maintained, and the homeowner decided to buy a 7x7 plastic shed from whatever it was, a certain home lumber supplier or Home Depot, and to enclose the existing mechanical sort of equipment for the pool. Unfortunately, under the City of Toronto governing rules, you don't have to have an application for any cabana structure under 100 square feet. Therefore, you don't have to apply for it, but it still should be calculated in coverage. So this is what the additional coverage situation is above and beyond the envelope of our original approval of committee on our original files.
Okay, so just to summarize,
Mhm.
the two variances for the side yard setbacks have to do with what you've put forward as a slight overbuild. So they probably should have set those foundations in slightly if they knew that the main walls that it would be supporting would have to project beyond them slightly. My question for you, how much is that projection? Because I understand on the east side yard setback, I see it's a slight 0.03 meters, but you know, on the west side yard setback, you're asking for 0.36, right? And there's which is well over a foot of an overhang. What's
Absolutely not, Mr. Chair.
no? Okay,
The,
please explain.
the,
Yeah.
the variances, the numbers in question are under 2 inches, well within under 2 inches on both sides. It is strictly the application of the exterior stucco application, which is a styrofoam and a thick skin outside the foundation wall thicknesses, which is indicative of every build in Toronto or North York in the past. I mean, this has always happened in the past. Unfortunately, it has come to light in this particular instance by a neighbor, and while the surveyor was there, staking out the final as-built conditions. The
I
truth of
see.
the matter is, it's a cladding application. It's a cladding, and it's like even under rules of engagement, when we go into building code requirements for existing buildings, the bylaw permits even a 4-inch encroachments on the setbacks on cladding. So if I had existing structure, by right, I can go and extend and add cladding to the exterior wall and encroach into the setbacks within 4 inches. We're talking here under 2 inches of consistency that we sort of encroached into the setbacks.
Okay, understood. I appreciate your clarification because I want to get on the record. I misunderstood. I thought that the wall would be overhanging quite a bit, but what I failed to acknowledge is that there was a previous variance for that west side yard setback. So you'd be asking for that what was previously approved in addition to the slight difference to account for the thickness of the
Cladding.
main wall. Understood.
Yeah.
I might just say it is in terms of staff are listening in, but you know, under purpose of the application, usually it would identify conditions that are existing versus ones that are proposed, right?
Okay.
So it might just help to clarify that, not only for members and staff, but for the neighbors, because the neighbors, if it was a little more clear, then we may not have all these questions in committee, neighbors showing up, not understanding what you're actually requesting. So perhaps in a you know, if we were to grant a deferral, we could also clarify some of that for the next members that are going to be sitting on your hearing. Is that
Appreciate that, sir. Appreciate that, sir.
I'll ask my members, do you have any questions? None. Okay, let's take this into committee.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
There are
Mr.
no
Fazeli.
comments from other colleagues. I think this application has to go through a correct procedural.
Yeah.
For you know, the sign and signage and so on, as applicant mentioned. So for that reason, I think deferral can benefit with this application. So I forward a motion for approval of the deferral.
Okay, do we have a seconder? Ms. Sankar Peralta, thank you. All in favor? Okay, that's unanimous. The deferral request is granted.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right. We're on item number 3, Shady Oaks Crescent. The purpose of this application is to construct a new 2-story addition to the existing detached dwelling. We have 2 variances, east side yard setback and lot coverage. On file, material from the applicant and 1 letter in support. We have our agent with us.
Yes. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you well.
Yes. Okay. Yes. My name's Tom Sprague, and the name of our firm, Sprague and Company Architects, and we're located at 156 Duncan Mill Road here in Toronto. I'd like to just give a very brief background to this particular application. The owners purchased their home last year, and we did get a building permit for building a small addition that didn't require any variances. And shortly after the construction started, the owners determined that they really did require additional living space. Um, and also at the same time, they wanted to widen the garage so that they could properly park 2 cars. The variances that you see before you are twofold. There's one that has to do with the lot coverage, and the other one has to do with the side yard setback. And I sent a notice in, we like to alter that to make it 1.8 meters. That's what we're requesting, a change from, and that was sent in just to confirm that on, there you go, right there. So we'd like to change that. It's more in keeping with the other decisions in the neighborhood with the committee. But having said that, it's also basically the exact same setback from the 2 houses on each side. Number 1, Shady Oaks, the east yard setback and the west yard setback of number 5, Shady Oaks, are both 1.8 meters. So what we're proposing now is to be comparable to those 2 immediate neighbors. The only thing I would ask just to call up, which I think would be helpful for the committee, was supporting material that we put in, and it was put in on the 29th of June. If you could pull that up, I think that would be very helpful. Yeah, there we go. And that's just a comparison of lot coverage from past decisions. And as can be seen, there are many that are larger than what we're asking for. Also, there's 3 on, there's number 9, 2, and number 1 Shady Oaks, which are all larger lot coverages than what we're proposing. And scrolling down further, we could look at the there's the side yard setbacks, which are all consistently sort of in the 1.8 meter range. So just in summary, my feeling is what we're proposing is very much in keeping with the scale and the size of other projects over the years in the neighborhood. It's certainly appropriate in my opinion, and I certainly feel in this case that it's a minor variance. So I feel very supportive of what's being proposed. And
All right,
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Members, do we have questions? All right. We have somebody in the gallery here to speak. Please come on down to the podium.
Hello, my name is Dina Dieger-Kraneman. I'm here as the tenant at 5 Shady Oaks, and I'm also here on behalf of the owner, Ms. Cow, and her husband, Mr. Zhang, who own the property. I would have liked to have submitted beforehand, but I was traveling for work. The letter that we received was dated for May 14th. I traveled, didn't receive it until I got back, and it was the day after the limit for submissions. So unfortunately, we were unable to submit.
That's okay.
anything
You're
ahead
here
of time.
today, and if you feel like it, you can read your letter out.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'd like to start off by saying that what's there currently at number 3 Shady Oaks is a foundation and 2 pieces of wall that are left of what was an existing structure. It was a 2-story home with an adjacent 2-car garage without a second level above the garage. There's nothing wrong with the appearance of what they're proposing, but they basically torn down what's there, it's demolished. And we thought it was curious that it's an entirely new construction. 5 Shady Oaks is a home built in 1968. It's a mixture of wood, brick, and has a cladding of reclaimed barn board. all along it. So I understand what the gentleman is saying about there being many homes in the area that are now exceeding what was originally allowed on the lots. And the reason that the owners bought the house was because they wanted to live in a low-density neighborhood. It's the reason why we're renting there as well. There have been numerous approvals of larger and larger homes, what I'd like to call, I think the term for them these days is McMansions. And what's happening is it's changing the character of that neighborhood and many others across the city, where the houses are consistently exceeding what was the allowable footprint. This property is directly to the southwest of us. The size of structure that now is being proposed with a full second story is going to take most of our sun exposure away. The existing house at 5 Shady Oaks is a back split with a sunken garden that neighbors number 3. With all the wood on the house, if there's any sort of an emergency, the only access to that back area of the lower part of 5 Shady Oaks is going to be the driveway of 3 Shady Oaks for a fire truck. And with the reduction in setback between the two properties, I really question how is emergency equipment going to get to the back of the existing house at 5 Shady Oaks and be able to put out a fire. There are also 7 50-plus-year-old pine trees between the two properties, extensive landscaping. The grading doesn't allow for anything to drive up on the lawn at 5 Shady Oaks at that side of the property. At least one tree has already been cut down by the contractors at 3 Shady Oaks. Whether or not that was applied for or not is not why we're here today. But there are a number of trees, shrubs, landscaping between the two that will be affected with the reduction in the setback between the two properties. And it will take not just all the natural light that we have on that west side, but also privacy. The existing house at 5 Shady Oaks is a 1-story building with windows, at least 5 windows to the west side. The size of this structure will cut off most of the natural light to that side and be directly overlooking the backyard at 5 Shady Oaks. And there's
just
one
be
other.
mindful of the time. We just hit the 5-minute mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The only other thing I'd like to add is that there's going to be a storm water issue for sure with the change, with both changes, the increased footprint and if the setback is allowed, all of the stormwater is going to funnel to that sunken garden at 5 Shady Oaks.
All right.
Okay.
Members, do we have any questions? Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to turn it back to Mr. Sprague. I want to provide him an opportunity to respond to some of your concerns. Some of the things that I heard with respect to shadowing, privacy, trees, and water, but are just a few of the things that were mentioned. I'm sure Mr. Sprague has been listening in, so at this time I'll provide him an opportunity to respond, okay?
Thank you.
Just before we do that, are there any other neighbors to speak to this item? Okay, let's go back to Mr. Sprague.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, I would like to respond to it just to put this in perspective now with the change to the 1.8 meters, which I should say is the same distance from number 5 to the property line of what we're asking for now. That's going out 2 feet further than what presently exists, but it does it makes a big difference in being able to park a car, 2 cars properly. So that's the difference. We're only going 2 feet closer. In terms of the stormwater management, we're going to do grading drawings, and when we go for building permits, we've got to demonstrate that no anything's changing and affecting the neighbor's property. So we would certainly be doing that as part of our building permit, part of the grading plan, and making sure that there's no impact whatsoever on the effect of the neighbor to the east. That's for sure. But just to put it in perspective, I mean, let's talk about the large homes in the area, and I'll go back to to the size of other homes in the area, and there are actually, in fact, 3 on the street that are larger than what we're asking for. It's just they're over 30% coverage. So this is not out of keeping. I think we're moving 2 feet closer to the property line, but it makes the garages functional, which is important. And we've also got our, in terms of the Arborist reports, and so that's all in the works as well. So we're sort of going through the whole process, but I really will reiterate, I think, in my opinion, this is a reasonable request. The reason the building's empty, as she said, because they stopped work on the original one, saying, gee, we should go a little bit bigger. We need a little extra space for our family. And that's why it's kind of in a holding pattern right now. So that's kind of the decision that was made to stop the construction and hopefully get approval, which I think is very reasonable, so that they could proceed on. I hope that answers the questions as best I can. But I do think it's very reasonable. I really do.
All right. Thank you for that submission. Members, do we have any questions? All right. Let's take this into committee. Yes,
through you,
Mr. Vaselli.
Chair, yes, I'm ready to make a motion if there are no comments from the colleagues. No, it's not. Yes, I think what I've heard about the amendment of the application, the setbacks to 1.8 and comparability with the neighbors, I think this makes the application more reasonable also. So I believe it satisfied the fortress, in my opinion. So I'd like to forward a motion to approve this application as amended. I'm just making sure there are no conditions. No, seems not.
Yeah, can we, just for the record, can we note the amendment as 1.8 meters?
Yes.
All right. And without any other conditions.
Correct.
Is that correct? Oh, there's a modified application. He's modified variance number 1 to a 1.8 meter setback. Yeah, I usually capture that a little earlier on, but I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page that we're dealing with the modification.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. So Mr. Vaselli, is that your motion?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion from Mr. Vaselli. That's second by Ms. Sankar Peralta. Thank you. All in favor? All right. The application as modified is approved. Okay. Item number 4, 64 Ridgevale Drive. Purpose of this application is to construct a new detached dwelling with a rear deck and walkout. Variances include side main wall height, main pedestrian entrance height, lot coverage, platform area, west side yard setback, and number of stories. On file, in addition to material from the applicant, we have a memo from Urban Forestry and a letter of objection from 62 Ridgevale Drive. Or I should say Ridgevale Drive. Apologies. Okay, we have our agent with us.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Committee Panel. My name is Mehdi Ajvan. I'm here as the architect of project and representative of my client as the owner of 64 RIDGEVALE Drive. My address is 3429 Yonge Street, Toronto, Ontario.
All right. Thank you. This is Mr. Mozafari?
No, this is Mehdi Ajvan. I'm here calling
Ajvan.
and, yeah, I'm presenting.
Okay, I recognize the voice. That's why I asked. I just want to know. Link it to the name. Okay. All right. Thank you. So we've got your name and address, sir. We'll get the 5 minutes up, and whenever you're ready.
Sure. The application is before you today is very typical application for a typical two-story detached houses, and we are here in front of committee with requested 6 variances. Most of them are pretty straightforward. We are asking for side setback on one side, which is for like a portion of building length. The remaining portion of building has more than required side setback. The only item that I would like to explain that, due to the interpretation of zoning bylaw and the rear portion grade that we have, basically our basement level considered as a first story and the main floor, typical main floor, considered as a second story. That's why we are asking for variance number 6 and 4. Variance number 6 talking about the number of story, and variance number 4 is talking about our typical rear deck, which considered as a balcony on a second floor, and the regulation of balcony is applied over there. That's why it seems a bit more exaggerated. I reviewed the comment we received from our neighbor from the east side. And we are totally okay with their suggestion to have a privacy screen on their side, because we believe privacy is a mutual matter, and we will be more than happy to impose that condition in our potential approval. If there is any question, I would be more than happy to provide answer or clarification.
All right. Thank you for that submission. I believe this may come up. I'm just going to ask it now, but I read in one of the letters of concern, or a letter of concern about some privacy and sightline issues. I see with one of the variances with the rear deck, we've got quite a bit of a projection into the rear yard. Have you had any thought with respect to how you may be able to mitigate some of those impacts on the neighbor?
Sure. On the neighbor, the opposition letter that we received is from our eastern neighbor. Regarding the side setback, we are in compliance with required 4 feet side setback. We are not asking for any variance on that side. We are in compliance regarding the side yard setback. Regarding the rear platform, as I said, the number for 25 meter instead of 4 square meter, it is because this considered as a balcony. Definitely, we are okay for having having a privacy screen over there. And I believe that if we can do some improvement on the length, if that's something, I will be more than happy to amend my application to get, because now the projection of deck is 13 feet 4 inches. We can reduce it by 2 feet and propose basically 11 feet 4 inches over there. The number, can I introduce the improvement for the variance?
Okay. I guess I have to ask. I mean, if you would like to make a modification,
Yes.
you have to let
Yes.
us know. That's not for us to decide.
Sure. Yeah, I know. That's why I asked you, is it good time to introduce this improvement? Yeah, based on this, because I at the same time, I believe that it is like a typical lake, but I totally understand the concern from our neighbor. That's why I would love to amend our variance number 4.
Okay.
The area, instead of 24.21 square meter, we are proposing 21.85 square meter. We get 2 feet from the proposed length of a wood deck.
All right.
Plus privacy screen.
Okay. So so my understanding, so staff, we have variance number 4. I'm just going to correct the applicant. It's actually for 25.21. He'd like to modify variance number 4 to 21.85 square meters. Okay. All right. Questions before we go, Mr. Marziard?
I had a quick question. I understand that variance number 5 is just for the portion of garage and laundry. So if we approve this application, are you okay to tie it to site plan?
Definitely, just with this consideration that, the rear deck, we reduce the length of rear deck. If we have something in wording that allow us to reduce the, the length of wood deck, then yeah, totally, we would be okay to tie the application.
Get around it. Because I think, yeah, we'll maybe discuss that in committee, but I think we be able to get around the wording of that, given one's at the front of the property and one's at the
You
back.
just mentioned that variance number 5 to be.
Yeah, or it only
Yes.
applies to variance number 5.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I had a similar note. Okay. Any other questions? No? All right. Just checking in online. Okay. Very good. Okay, we have another speaker on this to hear from. Nobody in person, I think virtually.
Hello, it's Matt Sherman. Just want to confirm you can hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you. Your name and address, please.
So good morning. My name is Matt Sherman and I'm here with my wife Heather. We are the residents of 62 Ridgevale. And just a brief comment. So we are very happy to see investment in our neighborhood and we're looking forward to welcoming our neighbors to the street. We are generally very supportive of modernization of the property at 64 Ridgevale Drive, but we are here to respectfully ask the committee to help us ensure that the final plan is balanced so that it remains a positive addition for everyone. So when we were reviewing the proposal, we had the two concerns, and we see that you have the written submission in front of you. So for the first, regarding the side yard setback variance number 5, the current design uses an asymmetrical footprint that places the building closer to our home than the 1.2 meter requirement. While we understand the desire for the design flexibility, we're concerned that this variance does not fully maintain the general intent and the purpose of the zoning bylaw, which is intended to ensure appropriate spacing, light, and air circulation between the homes. We would be very grateful if the committee could explore whether the building could be shifted to share the spatial impact more equitably, which would help to align the project with established character of our street. Regarding the rear platform variance number 4, the proposed 25.21 meter square deck is approximately 500% higher than the 4 meter square bylaw limit. So we are concerned that at this scale, the platform may not meet the test of being desirable for the appropriate development of the land because it does create a direct overlook into our private backyard. And we are hopeful that this can be addressed in a larger, if a larger deck is approved, that we would request that there be a high quality binding condition, that there would be a high quality privacy screening. This would ensure that both our new neighbors and our family can enjoy the outdoor spaces comfortably. So in summary, we do believe making these adjustments, the application can more successfully satisfy the minor variance test and better maintain the general intent of the official plan and preserving the character of our neighborhood. And we do thank the applicant and the committee for their time in considering the suggestions to help us achieve a balanced outcome for both properties. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that submission. Mr. Vizzelli has a question for you.
Yes, I have a question for the neighbor. What is your side yard setback on the east side?
I don't have those numbers at my fingertips.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Vizzelli, if you, Stafford, just pull up the survey. The dwelling at number 62, the setback of 2.45 meters. On the west side. On the east side, though, I see you're asking the east side. Yes, okay. I understand. Okay. All right. This time, let's turn it back to our applicant.
Thank you so much. Thank you thank you our neighbor that's sharing their concern. Although we reviewed their letter of concern carefully. The point that I wanted to add is from our neighbor at 62 Ridgevale, we are not, we are proposing as of right. 1.2 meter is as of right condition, while the existing is 1.5. But existing condition is not comparable. Since we are in compliance with the zoning bylaw, and the reason for that, if I will, just explain it more, because of the driveway and the city-owned tree that we have in front of our building, we had to propose our driveway on the other side. We couldn't get, propose our driveway on the neighbor side to be able to have like a different layout. And typically the driveway is on the other side. That's the main reason that we came up with this condition. From the other side, which our neighbor is okay with, with the combination of having less setback for the front portion and more setback at the rear portion. Definitely, we cannot push building to the other neighbor side, while requesting for side setback less than 3 feet is not appropriate in terms of both, negative impact that we will impose on the neighbor. But from our neighbor that share their concern, and from their side, we have 1.2 meter, which is as of right. And regarding the deck, as we declared before sharing concern of our neighbor, we amend our application to reduce the deck size, and also okay to propose the privacy screen on their side.
All right, thank you. Questions? Okay. Staff, we don't have any other speakers I don't have on my list. Okay, let's take this into committee. Mr. Fazeli, I think you brought up started to bring up something that I think maybe we were going in the same direction, because it actually came up in the last application too, with respect to side yard setbacks. I think in many cases with the block pattern where, planning rationale is being brought forward to say, one neighbor's matching the other, I think there needs to be consideration that there's a bit of give and take with the side yard setbacks, where I'm looking at the block pattern in the neighborhood, and it looks like, the side yard setback is usually pinched a little bit at the as of right or less, but typically only on one side of the property. On the other side, there's actually considerable setback. And when you put the block together, it more or less kind of evens out. So you get the same spatial distance between properties, even though each property has a different setback on each side. So I think that's an important maybe consideration just to put out there that I've been observing with respect to this. But I will open it up to my members to hear from them. Ms. Sinkar-Peralta, please.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I also think it really just sort of needs to be said that it's only for a specific portion of that side yard. And so I think that at least helps. And if we do end up tying that one variance 5 to site plan, it might be helpful. And so I do hear what the neighbor is saying, but I also understand that this also fits into a bit of the character as well of the neighborhood. And with respect to the privacy screens, we can absolutely, we can't really probably say put in high end, but I don't even know if they allow us to say any more opaque screening. I'll probably have, I think I recall the Deputy Secretary Treasurer saying that we may not use those terminologies anymore, but if it is, I would probably say something like that. I think that would sort of help offset, any of the concerns that the neighbors might have on privacy. And the applicant did end up reducing it to 21.85 square meters. So that might have been a bit helpful as well.
Okay. I'm a little stuck on the deck projection, just because, the rear main wall, the distance of the rear main wall on the neighbor's property to the rear main wall on this is pretty significant. And it would have been helpful to see a little bit more relief, a little bit more setback, at least of the deck, to help mitigate the impact. I think my concern with a privacy screening is, you've already got substantially large side main wall adjacent to the neighbor, and then to exacerbate that with the deck, an additional 4 meters. I'm undecided. I think for me that's probably the most challenging variance in the application. But yeah, if there's no other comments of Ms. Sankar Peralta, please bring a motion, maybe see where it goes.
Yeah, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit, you know, not sure about the deck now, but I do feel that, you know, in terms of trying to mitigate, at least I saw effort to reduce, and I saw that they're wanting to at least prevent privacy concerns and at least hear the neighbors out. And the neighbors did say, look, I'm not against development. It's just, you know, I want to protect, you know, any kind of onlook to my side, which I totally understand. So I'll put this through. I don't know if others feel that way, but I think I could be in agreement with the amended application, and as such, I'll put forward a motion to approve this application, subject to forestry number 1. I mean, forestry condition number 2, sorry, as well as the amendment made by the applicant here today, such that variance number 4 is reduced to 21.85 square meters, and that there are privacy screens, 1.5 meters in height on both sides of that deck, east and west, which is 1.5 meters. And if I could use the word opaque screening, so it's a nicer touch. And as well, I would like to tie variance number 5 to the site plan. And that's my motion.
Okay, very good. Yes, Mr. Deputy Secretary Treasurer.
Sorry, Mr. I just want to clarify the motion about the height of the screening. It's measured from the floor of the deck, correct?
Measured
Yes,
from the-
that's correct. Yes.
And
I
also,
meant to say that.
yeah, thank you. And just for maybe for the benefit of the neighbor, when you tie it to the site plan, it's for 2 stories above, because sometimes it's only the garage portion and the indent. So just for the benefit of the neighbor, they know that it's actually going right up. Do you know what I mean?
Which port for the garage?
Well, sometimes
Yeah.
it comes out and then goes back in, and it's only for the garage portion. But for this one, it's going straight up to the 2nd floor, just for the benefit of the neighbors, so they understand that.
Okay. Yes, thank you for that point
Okay.
of clarification. Mr. Majari, you had a comment?
No, I just want to second the motion.
Sure. Okay. And I'm sorry. I know we're in the middle of a motion, but just to clarify, we have privacy screening on both sides of the deck, east and west. Okay.
Do we need
That's
it
right.
on west? I mean, on
I think we should be
Okay.
careful. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So we have a motion by Ms. Sankar Peralta. That's seconded by Mr. Marciari. All in favor? Okay. And opposed? So Mr. Allison, Mr. Fazeli opposed. The motion carries. The application is approved as modified with condition. All right. Members, staff, why don't we, time's now 11:11. Why don't we take a 10-minute relief break and adjourn at 11:21? Okay, thank you. All right, we're back. Item number 5. We've got everybody here. Okay, item number 5, 5799 to 5915 Young Street and 46 and 47 Averill Crescent. The purpose of the application is to authorize interim occupancy of the existing sales center for a broader range of non-residential uses, all of which are established as permitted uses under the site-specific bylaw. One variance related to that stated use. On file, material from the applicant. I see report from community planning, transportation, as well as Metrolinx. We have our agent with us. Welcome. Oh, let's get that mic on.
Oh.
There we go.
Through you, Mr. Chair, thank you for having me. My name is Valentina Chu. I'm a senior planner at Goldberg Group here on behalf of the applicant, 2098 Avenue Road. I do have a brief presentation if that can be put on the screen.
Well, we're getting that loaded up. Does anybody else to speak to this item? Staff, believe we have one person online. We have a in person. I'm sorry I missed you, sir. Okay, very well. Okay, staff are pulling up your presentation.
No, there is a presentation slide.
Hold on. I'm happy to hear from you, but before we do that, I need to get your name and address for the record, and you have to speak into the mic so that anybody that's listening online can hear, because they can't hear what's going on in the chambers unless it's going through our audio. So whenever, please come on down to the mic and give us your name and address.
小丽郭 address Suite 300 5801 Young Street.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm here on behalf of the owner. The slides, the presentation slides were submitted to the committee, I believe on May 28th, along with the updated transportation report, transportation study here posted online or on the screen. So there is a presentation slides that was submitted along with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would just like to provide staff an opportunity to respond.
We sent it to the committee's general email as well as Olivia and Brandon.
Thank you.
I do have a USB with the presentation if that.
Just to confirm, the general email that we sent along with Olivia and Brendan is coa.ny@toronto.ca. And it was May 28th around 1:22 p.m.
Yes. Okay.
Very good. Okay. So we've got the presentation up on the screen. Staff, we have confirmed that the submission was made in accordance with the submission deadline. All right, very good. Okay.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, thank you for your patience.
No problem. Thank you. Next slide, please. So the subject site is located at the southeast corner of Cummer Avenue and Yonge Street at the Newtonbrook redevelopment site. This minor variance application concerns the Block 3 portion of the redevelopment site as shown on the screen as subject site. Next slide, please. So currently on the subject site, there is an existing condominium sales center that is currently vacant. The building is a one-story building with associated surface parking. And as you'll see in the left corner, there are a couple of photos showing what's currently there. Next slide, please. In accordance with the site-specific zoning bylaw, bylaw 64/2021, as amended, the redevelopment site is permitted a wide range of non-residential uses. However, due to a holding provision over Block 3, the site is currently only permitted a condominium sales center. Next slide, please. The purpose of this minor variance application is to seek one variance, and it is to allow the permitted uses as permitted under bylaw 64/2021 as amended within the existing sales center on an interim basis prior to the redevelopment of Block 3. If successful, the existing sales center would be occupied by non-residential uses such as offices, restaurants, retail stores, pharmacies, hair salons, tutoring centers, and more. I would like to also note that in correspondence with Transportation Services, they've indicated that they would like the supermarket use to be removed as part of the permitted uses. And I'd also like to highlight that as part of this application, no additional GFA or parking is being proposed. In conclusion, I'd like to say that in my opinion, this application is minor and should be approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions? All right. We have another speaker.
Morning, gentlemen and ladies. My name is Xilu Jiang. I'm the owner of 45 Avenue Crescent, so which shares a direct property line with 46 and 47 Avenue Crescent under the M2M redevelopment application. I'm requesting that the following conditional requirements be integrated into any site plan approval or minor variance approval to mitigate severe adverse impacts on my property. First, number one, privacy and screening buffers to alleviate severe overlooking into my low-rise property. The developer must provide a high-quality privacy fence and a robust, dense landscape buffer consisting of mature trees along the shared boundary line. Additionally, architecture building elements such as window replacement or balcony privacy screens facing 45 Avenue Crescent must minimize direct lines of sight. Second, structure safety and asset protection. Due to the extreme proximity of heavy construction and deeper excavation, a comprehensive independent pre-construction condition survey of 45 Avenue Crescent must be completed at the developer's expense prior to site mobilization. Real-time vibration and settlement monitoring must be maintained at the property boundary throughout the duration of shoring and excavation phases. Third, microclimate and environmental mitigation. The development must respect the city's guidelines regarding adverse shadow impacts on stable residential neighborhoods. Furthermore, any outdoor lighting on the eastern edge of the project must utilize cut-off fixtures to prevent light spillover into my home, and severe zones, loading waste management, machine units must not be potential adjacent to my property line. Fourth, strict grading and storm water controls. Comprehensive site grading and stormwater management plans must prove that no surface runover, diverted groundwater, or seasonal meltwater will migrate from 4647 Avenue Crescent onto the property of 45 Avenue Crescent. And the last one is, finally, I must bring to the committee attention a severe infrastructure issue that has steadily impacted my daily life. For the past 5 years, the pedestrian pathway that previously gave our properties direct access to Yonge Street and the subway has been completely blocked due to the M2M project. This prolonged closure has fractured our neighborhood's connectivity and severely undermined transit accessibility. 5 years of the disruption is unacceptable. I request the committee to impose a strict condition requiring the developer to immediately provide the safe, well-lit temporary pedestrian detour and to legally guarantee the permanent restoration and enhancement of the public transit pathway as a high priority condition of the final site plan approval. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
5 points.
So just a point of clarification for myself. You understand that the applicant is here to request a variance for use with respect to the sales center. It's just temporary. Is your concern with the sales center or Or is it is your concern with the entire development? Because it seems like your concern is with the development itself.
It's not a sales center. It's two single house. They will tear down for development project. So I just wish the project not infect my life severely, but actually it impact my life already. For example, they never cut the glass, cut the weed. The glass is so high, and my wife health even infected, got hurt because he's sensitive to the weed. I make every year I make a complaint about that, and for the safety reason, I hope the construction project not make my home fracture, like tear down, something like that. So
Okay.
all in the five points.
All right, very good. Thank you very much for that submission. I'm going to ask my colleagues if they have any questions for you. I see none. Thank you very much. If there are there any other speakers? If not, we will turn it back. Oh, we do.
Yeah,
Oh, you're together.
I'm his wife.
Okay,
yeah.
so and you live at the same address.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so generally we allow 5 minutes from each party. So if there's two people from the same address and the same family unit, they're still allocated the 5 minutes. This is probably maybe your first time at committee. I do want to provide you an opportunity to say a few words. So I'm going to be a little more lenient. I'll provide you, but please give us your name and address and no more than a minute, please.
Okay.
Okay.
45 Everett Cross. My name is Yajun Wang. You can call me Linda. So I'm just concerned. So my property will be after the construction.
Oh, speak into the mic for us, please.
Oh,
There
so-
you go.
Yeah, that's yeah. I just consider this construction and safety because the risk of the ground or crack. I just consider my property the value. Yeah, like
Right.
ground the settlement and the vibration and the ground movement and also like property safety and the prevents and what is the long-term value investment. I consider more like this my property because my property two sides, one side will become like a public park in the future, and the other side is the walkway, walk paths.
Yeah.
So no property, no province. So I not feel comfortable, and this is for the future. Yeah, and also that's why my husband's thinking, if that we will request to the fence to high fence to make us like a safety and safety for prevents.
Okay.
And for property, just means we worry that having the machine to come to dig ways, dig deep. So will maybe cause the property will be like a crack or
Fair enough. Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I only have this property, so I want you. I want you the value keep the high value, not decrease.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to stop you there though, because I've been a little more than lenient with the time. And I do have some questions myself for the agent, and I would like to hear from them to address some of the concerns that you raised. So thank you very much. Colleagues, we don't have any other questions? Okay, thank you.
I request someone we can meet face to face. We deal with this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, understood.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
let's go back to our agent, please. Have him back. You can sit down. Thank you. So I'll just provide you an opportunity to respond to some of the concerns that were raised. But before we do, I just some questions. Where are you guys at in the construction process? Is this are we well underway in terms of construction? Have the piles been put in yet?
So phase 1 is built, but phase 2 is vacant. I can't confirm the timing of construction for phase 2, but the purpose of this application is related to phase 3, the last phase. So I can't really speak to what concerns of construction this application would have on the neighboring
Okay, and in terms of the phases, which of the phases is most impactful or closest to the neighbor's property? Is that 1, 2, or 3? Or it might not be able to answer that.
I'm not really sure at
Fair
this
enough. That's
time.
fine. Okay. I understand, you know, we're here to we're looking at a variance for a sales center. I mean, it seems like this is a pretty large project that's going to be ongoing for quite a while. I'll say this, it may just be helpful outside of the decision today, just to have the contact information of the adjacent property owner. I mean, it seems like they are pretty close, and there's quite a bit of substantial change. So perhaps just establishing a point of contact, it might help to assuage concerns on both sides. You know, oftentimes with the developers, sometimes they offer a pre-inspection of a home, and it covers them as well, right? To ensure if there is damage, well, we have a pre-inspection to determine what was there before and what may or may not have been caused as a result of the development. But I don't want to overstep too much. I just, you know, part of this too is just ensuring there's a good, clear line of communication between all parties in the process, just to ensure things move smoothly. That's my comment. I want to ask my colleagues if they have any questions for you before I take this into committee. Okay, none. Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Let's take this into committee.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Fazeli.
If there are no comments from the colleagues, I'm okay to make a motion. I think the application, it's reasonable and satisfies the 4 tests. Therefore, I forward a motion to approve the application.
All right. Do I have a
There are conditions.
seconder for that?
We have some conditions
There are
to
some
include,
conditions, yeah.
Right.
transportation and planning.
Sure.
Yes,
Mr.
thank you.
Fazeli, would you like to amend
Yes.
the motion?
Yes, absolutely. So I'd like to add the conditions of the community planning staff report. Would you like me to read that, or it is fine?
I think it's pretty self-explanatory,
Sure.
staff. Do we need that condition read on this community planning staff report?
No. And then transportation, there's a conditional also. And the Metrolinks, I would see.
Yeah.
Standard.
There's one condition. It's the only condition noted on the staff. There it is. Fantastic. Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes, I like to add that too.
and Metrolinks. So community planning.
No condition.
That's true. So we're not adding anything.
All
about
right.
Metrolinks.
So we have a motion with the inclusion of the conditions noted in the community planning staff report as well as in the transportation review report.
Can you second that?
And that's second by Mr. Masiari. All in favor? All right, that's unanimous. That application is approved with condition. Okay. Item number 6, 235 Hannah Road. The purpose of this application is to alter the existing detached dwelling by adjusting the roof line on the north elevation. Requires one variance for eave projection. On file, in addition to material from the applicant, we have one letter in objection from 237 Hannah Road.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name
Are you ready?
and address. Yeah, please, whenever you're ready.
Through you, Mr. Chair, good morning. My name is Cindy McPhee. I'm the agent for this application. I'm here representing the homeowners. I have Ian Hanning in the WebEx meeting with me. He's here if needed. I just wanted to confirm that the panel members have received our cover letter. It had a letter from myself, as well as Mr. Henning.
Yes, we do.
And
We
awesome.
have it
Wonderful.
here in our file, dated May 7th.
Great. Excellent. Okay, thank you. So the Hennings have been at this property since 2011. We prepared a addition renovation building permit, which we were in front of the committee a few years ago. We received the building permit in 2023. So they have been living in the renovated home for the past few winters. And unfortunately, they have been dealing with snow damming and backup ice damming that has come into the house. So with inspections and reports and recommendations from all consultants, the recommendation is to extend the roof overhang. So currently it is just a few inches off of the wall. And the proposed extension to the roof overhang would have it to be 12 inches. And then that is what we're asking our application in regards to extending that roof overhang so that it's coming closer to the property line than what's permitted. We feel that this application meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act and are asking for the approval from the panel members this morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Quick question. What is the existing overhang of the eave currently?
So currently it's about 2 inches.
2-inch overhang, and you're looking for an additional 10 inches.
Yeah.
And this application's a little unique in the sense we're dealing with more of
Yes.
a technical problem, construction-wise. And by enabling or allowing an additional 10-inch overhang, what does that achieve?
So the additional would take it to like a typical roof overhang, right? 12 inches is a typical. And what that does is opens up the soffit, which is the underside part of the roof that's the horizontal portion. It allows airflow to come up and into the roof. So currently with the few inches, there's not enough ventilation in that horizontal 2 inches to get enough cool air into the roof. So by extending the roof by the 10 inches along that side, we're getting more air. The air will bring in like a balanced, so right now the roof is too hot in the winter time because the room is heated and the heat rises. And when it hits the portion, this small portion of where the roof is, it's too much of a difference between hot and cold. So the extra ventilation, which is typical, like if you can see on the portions that are on the right side of this sheet, it's like the typical roof overhang. So that portions of the roof are getting more of the cold air into it. So what we're trying to do is solve this ice damming issue with this this portion. Once it gets back into that flat stuccoed portion, we don't need the overhang projection.
Understood. Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you
it's
for
just
that.
this portion that you see circled.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Colleagues, do we have any questions? All right. We do have our neighbor here. Welcome. Please come on down to the podium. Welcome.
Hi there. Thank you. Michael
Just make sure
Gress-
hit the button. You'll see red light. Oh, I apologize.
It is on.
Okay. All
yeah.
right. Apologize. Your name and address, please.
Sure. Michael Gressman, 237 Hannah Road, north side of their property.
All right. Okay. We've got the 5 minutes up for you.
Okay. So you've seen my letter. I assume you've read my letter.
Yes.
The applicant has indicated that there was engineering reports indicating that they needed to do this roof. I did not see that in their initial application.
Okay.
So if there's something else in there that I missed, I don't understand that. The issue for us is I guess a couple of things. I'm not sure what they're asking for because right now they have just an eave trough on that side.
Right.
Which eave troughs are standard 5 inches. Right.
Right.
So if they ask for another 10 inches, then with that eave trough on top of that, then they're going to have 15 inches, which, and right now they only have 16 inches to work with. So that's going to take them basically at our property line, right, within an inch. The other thing is, so with that, now we're dangerously close to our property line. Their application in my submission as well, you see that their house is higher than ours by about 3 inches. And with the ice damming, which is a standard issue in the neighborhood, I've submitted a picture of an existing house. And I mean, if you're happy to defer it another year, I'll give you 200 pictures of the neighborhood where everybody has this.
If you live in the city of Toronto and you live in an older neighborhood, you understand ice damming.
Exactly. And that,
I think we all experienced a bit of it this winter, at least those of us in older parts of the city.
Exactly. And those are houses that have, eaves on both sides. They have ventilation on both sides. So this is a standard issue. And now if we have that now on our side, now those eaves, as you can see from their picture, not that one, the one that they've submitted, it's going to encroach over a few extra inches onto our side. So now we're going to have issues with water dripping down there, potential for the icicles to fall on our property. We have 6 windows on that side as well as a door. 2 of the windows are at ground level. So if those icicles fall, they can fall and cause damage. That is a principal walkway for us between the houses to get to the backyard, to get to our side of our house, side door entrance. It represents a danger now that these are going to be overhanging onto our property instead of staying on their property. So this is the concern that we have. And the fact, if you read their own submission, their own engineering report, the solution to the problem is to solve the heat escape from the house into the attic, not to add more ventilation. They even say right in their report, this is not a simple roof fix. So, I mean, again, our recommendation is we have the potential for, physical damage, property damage. We have the water encroachment from the eaves, as well as by adding this on, I mean, we're going to be losing even more sunlight. We barely have enough sunlight as it is with that addition, but now we will have no sunlight coming through those windows and doors. So, I mean, we kindly request that the committee reject this application based on that rationale.
Okay. And I presume you've had some discussion with the neighbor on rectifying this issue. Has there been any discussion? Because the reason that they're here, I mean, they're not benefiting from, additional space in their house or anything that really, it really is just to solve a problem of ice on the roof. And I think also the concern should be more important in the fact that the ice is more or less hovering over the property line. So it creates challenges not only for the homeowner, but for their neighbor.
Right.
Have you spoken with the agent about, possible solutions, whether there's maybe a heating cable in the gutter to deal with ice damming, or because if the purpose of the application is to deal with the ice damming and, we refuse it, yes, you may have less of an overhang. And if the icicles do come back, it would have been worse, right? Because now the icicles are more towards your property. But if this does in any way, shape, or form help to mitigate the impact of those icicles or even them forming in the first place, might that not be of benefit?
Well, again, in their own engineer report, the ice damming, they addressed that by putting in coils.
Right.
Heated coils on the roof. So that was.
They did mention. Okay.
So again, that was already in their report as a potential solution, not expanding the roof over so that they flow over to my property.
Fair enough. So there's a disagreement, I guess, and I guess my understanding then, the take of this is that both parties are trying to work towards the same goal of mitigating the effects of the ice in the winter. But I suppose the way in which that's done is what is being disagreed upon. The method in which that's solved. Is that fair summation of the situation between you and the neighbor?
I guess, yeah. I mean, they want it one way and we disagree. So
right.
To your point, yes.
Okay. All right. Colleagues, do you have any questions? All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Let's go back to Ms. McPhee.
Thank you. I would like to see if we could get the homeowner to rebut Mr. Ian Henning.
Sure.
think
The
he's-
5 minutes are yours. So yeah, just however you wish to allocate that.
Okay, that sounds good. This is Ian Hanning, 235 Hannah Road. I presume the committee and everybody can hear me, and I'll be as brief as I can. I think you'll see from my letter and our report, it speaks for itself. We have a significant moisture, insulation, ventilation issue in our attic that previous efforts to remediate after the first winter have not succeeded. So we need to do more. We will do more. We will implement all of the suggestions in the independent inspection. The issue that we have, of course, is a risk of continued or a future risk of mold buildup if we cannot remediate this moisture. We have water that is coming into our house in successive winters. So we need to do everything that we can to improve the safety and the soundness of our home. I think it is well established that a properly functioning and a well-functioning cold roof benefits from soffits and cold air ventilation coming through those soffits. Essentially, on the north side of our house, we don't have soffits. We have a very small air intake, and the application of a proper soffit will undoubtedly, in addition to the other steps we'll be taking, enhance and ideally will entirely fix this problem. And that will improve the safety of the access point for my neighbor who we've just heard of, because if we have significantly less ice damming, there will be significantly less chance of an icicle falling onto their property. I think overall, this is a very reasonable sort of request and a pretty reasonable approach to fix the problem. You know, a reasonable individual would be looking to support the safety and soundness of the property next to them. I'll pass it over to Cindy if she has anything further.
No, I think that was well said. Thank you very much, Mr. Henning. And again, we're just asking for the approval of the extension of the roof overhang.
All right. Okay, members, any questions? Mr. Margiari.
It's a quick question. I understand this is very technical, but did you try the roof vents as opposed to
Yeah.
soffit vent?
Yes.
Yes.
And so it doesn't work?
No.
Right. The roof vents will remove from the top part, but we need to give it more cold air from the bottom. It works on convection. So we need to bring in more cool air at the bottom of the roof, which is down here at the soffit. Roof
Yeah,
vents
I think we have added an
Yeah.
incremental
You already
2
added.
solar powered vents, and that they have not in the corner on the north side, they have not been effective in doing what they need to do. In fact, you can kind of create a almost like a sort of a vacuum effect, a negative air effect without the soffit.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, let's take this into committee. Who'd like to get us started? Maybe I'll just start by noting, you know, they're asking for an additional, I take the point about the eaves trough. If the existing overhang's 2 inches, I'm not sure that really accounts for the eaves trough unless the eaves trough is kind of set into the roof. The eaves troughs are typically 5 inches. So you're really looking at, assuming a traditional or typical eaves trough is about 5 inches, you're asking for an additional 10. It allows for a 7-inch overhang. And does a 7-inch overhang with a 5-inch soffit, which are already kind of capped out at the property line, short 2 inches, is that will that solve the problem? Will it make it worse? We don't know because we're not experts in that. So I guess then it becomes a question of evaluating, as Mr. Fazeli put forward, as the impact, which for me is also hard because you know the point of it is to resolve a technical issue, and it's really a question between parties of how to best go about that. I guess the silver lining is that you have two neighbors actively working towards the same goal. It's just about how we get there, how to ensure that the problem is dealt with as best as possible. So,
Mr. Chair, my
Yeah, Ms.
concern
Klein.
is, you know, you go ahead, you get these extra inches and you get right to the property line. What if it doesn't solve anything? Then there's also the impact on the neighbors as we've been discussing.
then the icicle just
Yeah.
moves closer to the
Yeah.
neighbors. Yes, is challenging in that
Yeah.
regard. Yeah.
That challenges me on approving this application.
Yeah. That's a good point, Ms. Klein. Thank you.
Yes, through Mr. Chair, I think it is that basically the variance is proposed to solve a technical problem. And I don't have the expertise to mention what other like technical solution could be offered. But the applicant chose this. However, what before us in terms of like the impact for the neighbors is something that I'm focused more on. And for that reason, like, I don't think I have enough evidence that it could reduce the impact for the neighbor. So that's where I stand. So I'm focused more on the impact for the neighbors.
Very well.
Just as a point, I think the applicant can also think about incorporating snow melt or ice melt into the eavesdrop, and it's very common in modern houses when we have flush and integrated eavesdrop. I understand this is the much easier way to ventilate from soffit. It's more conventional, but since it's creating this much impact on the neighbor, probably they can reconsider that.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, looks like we're ready for a motion. Okay. Who would like to bring one forward?
I'll try.
Sure. Yeah, Ms. Klein, go ahead.
I'm not, well, based on the information before me, and I find that, you know, the applicant thinks that the addition to the roof line would be minor and should be approved. However, based on the amount of closeness that gets to the neighbor, I don't believe that I can justify approving this application. So I'm going to put forth a motion to refuse, as I don't find that it meets the four tests.
All right. And that's second by Mr. Fazeli. Okay. All in favor of that motion? Okay. Opposed? Mr. Maggiari is opposed? Okay. The motion passes. The application is refused. All right. Item number 7, 12 BLYTHWOOD Road. The purpose of this application is to alter the existing two-story detached dwelling and construct a two-story rear addition. 3 variances: rear yard setback, 2 actually variances noted for rear yard setback, and 1 for building length. On file, in addition to material from the applicant, I see some correspondence with the TTC. All right, we've got our agent with us.
Hi, yep. Good morning and good afternoon, actually. My name is Emir Tesadi. My address is Unit 225, 885 Don Mills Road, North York. Agent for the owner of 12 BLYTHWOOD Road.
All right. Before we get going, I'm going to ask if, sir, you're not here for this item. Nobody's here in the gallery for this item. No. And staff, nobody online, right? If there's my colleagues, do colleagues need a presentation on this? It doesn't appear so. Sir, if it's all right with you, Please feel free to say a few words, but if it's all right with you, I can take this into committee.
Yeah, you can.
All right, very good. Let's move this into committee. Mr. Marziari.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's a straightforward application. The variances are minor and meets the 4 tests. So I put forward a motion to approve this application, and I can see the TTC standard conditions, so I would include that as well.
All right, very good. That will be seconded by Ms. Sankar Peralta. Yes. Great. All in favor? Okay, that's unanimous. That application is approved with condition. Item number 8. 15 Overbrook Place. Purpose of the application is to construct a 2-tier deck at the rear of the existing dwelling. It requires 2 variances: south side yard setback and lot coverage. On file, material from the applicant and form letters in support from area residents. Okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members. Ida Evangelista on behalf of the owner of 15 Overbrook Place.
All right, and your address, Miss Evangelista?
53 Bentworth Avenue, Toronto.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to committee.
Thank you.
Is anybody here to speak to this? And staff, we don't have anybody online. Members, would you like a presentation? All right, Ms. Evangelista, the floor is yours if you'd like anything to say, but it looks like we can take this right into committee.
Mr. Chair, members, basically this is just to increase the deck that they currently have to give additional space, you know, for family, children. They have reached out to all the neighbors surrounding their home. And as you saw, there are 12 letters of support. The deck on the south side is only 2 feet off the ground, and on the north side it's approximately 2 feet 4 inches off the ground. All staff is in support of this application, and I am ready for your decision.
All right, thank you, Ms. Evangelista. All right, we'll take this into committee. I think the height of the deck for me on this is sort of it makes it a very much easier application to support given the size. Yeah. So I don't have any concern, but I will open the floor to my fellow members for comment. Ms. Sankar Peralta?
My only comment is that I think it's a really simple application, and I think that it meets the 4 tests. I think there's an overarching number of letters of support, which is not usually the case. And I have 0 comments coming in from other areas that would alert me to concern. So I feel positive about it, and I can put forward a motion if no one else wants.
Sure. I also note it's good to see there's no soft landscaping or rear yard setback variances there. We're strictly dealing with lot coverage and rear platform. Setback for the rear platform. So yeah, please, Ms. Sankar Peralta.
I concur, Mr. Chair. And so I'll put forward a motion based on all that I've said to approve this application as is. Thank you.
All right. Second by Mr. Marziari. All in favor of that? Okay. That is unanimous. That application is approved. All right, application, we're on number 9. Application number 9, 128 York Downs Drive. The purpose of the application is to alter the existing detached dwelling by constructing a 2nd-story addition, an east side addition, and a rear covered deck and a new front porch. We have a number of variances being requested. Rear deck projection, front yard setback, lot coverage, front stair width, rear deck encroachment, encroachment of a canopy above a rear deck, east side yard setback for eaves, east side yard setback for the building, and west side yard setback for the building. On file, in addition to material from the applicant, we've got correspondence with community planning, urban forestry, as well as 3 form letters in support from area residents.
Hello, good morning.
Good.
Well, afternoon, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm Noam Hazan. I'm the architect and applicant on this file at 128 York Downs. My address is 2770 Dufferin Street, Suite 231. No, 213. Sorry. Hey, got confused. Okay.
Mr. Zahn,
And
do you have any modifications you'd like to make to the application?
Yeah, so we sent in a red line notice. I'm not sure if you received it. We eliminated one variance based on city staff's recommendation, and that also triggered the reduction of another variance as well. So 7 was eliminated, and number 8 was reduced based on that reduction.
Okay, and what is that reduction? I see 1.56 meters. Is that correct?
Yeah, so what we tried to square off the house. It's at a bit of a weird angle on the corner, and what that was triggering was there was like a pinch point where the corner of the house met the lot line, which is also at a bit of a weird angle. But the city staff was just concerned that the eaves trough, similar to your previous application, one of the previous ones, was too close to the lot. So we ended up just keeping the existing structure. That was like a small extension that we had proposed, just to square off the house because it's a bit of a weird shape. But with back and forth with the city, we agreed to their request to just keep it as existing and not extend on that corner of the house.
All right. Very well. And do we have an updated site plan to reflect the changes?
Yeah, we sent you updated drawings, and we've also submitted an application.
I see on May 26th, right? Yes.
I assume that's the latest one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do see the updated.
Yeah, you can see
site
the
plan.
corner there is no longer squared off. Exactly.
All right, very good. Okay. Yeah, thank you for that submission. Colleagues, do we have any questions for Mr. Hazan?
I just have a quick question.
Sure, Mr. Marziari, please.
I think I know the answer. Just wanted the applicant to confirm that. So variance number 2, it's a big reduction in the front yard setback. Is this because of the average of the two neighbors? I can see the left neighbor is pushed back further.
Yeah, exactly. So the one on the left is a corner lot, and that one is like a kind of an anomaly on the street. All the other houses are in the same line as this property, if not even a bit closer to the lot. So in terms of like, you know, it kind of throws off the front yard setback requirement, but it's an existing house, so there's not much we can do about that. And it's just and the front porch is just the extension that kind of amplifies that even more. But essentially, yes, because of the house on the left, we have this like really drastic front yard setback, basically.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thank you for that question, Mr. Marziari. It's an interesting condition because the front yard is actually the backyard on the neighboring property, so it's reversed. And okay.
That's a good point.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. Let's take this matter into. Sir, you're not okay. Let's take this into committee.
I can start.
Yes, Mr. Marziari.
I think it's a good application. I don't have any concern. I think the variance number 2 is clarified, so I'm ready to make a motion if my colleagues don't have any comment.
Yeah.
Okay, so I forward a motion to approve this application as amended. So variance number 7 to be removed and variance number 8 to be 1.56. And I would also include the planning condition that variance number 2, 8, and 9 to be developed substantially in site plan dated May 25th, 2026. And also refers to condition number 2.
Very good. All right. Second by Mr. Fazeli. All in favor? All right. That's unanimous. That application, as modified, is approved with condition. All right. Moving right along. Number 10, 68 Stormont Avenue. Purpose of the application is to construct a second-story addition to the existing dwelling, a two-story addition to the rear of the dwelling, and a secondary suite in the basement in conjunction with other interior and exterior alterations. Variances include west side yard setback, building height, building length, building depth, rear yard setback, main pedestrian entrance height, driveway width, and front stair width on file, in addition to material from the applicant. We have correspondence with community planning and approximately 14 form letters in support. All right, we've got our agent.
Yes, Joe Dome, 133 Torresdale Avenue, agent for the owners.
All right, Mr. Dome, are there any modifications you'd like to make to the application today?
Yes, we have had extensive communication with planning staff, and we have reduced the dwelling height to 10.4 meters in accordance with the recommendations, as shown in the latest submitted drawings. So we would request to amend variance number 2 to 10.4 meters.
Okay, so we got a slight reduction in the overall building height, reduced to 10.4 meters. Any other changes?
That would be the only changes. I mean, there are some trees that were as well included, some tree planting that has been added to the site plan. Now, as per the staff report on file, planning staff do not have concerns with the application, provided the height reduction, and do recommend tied to plans condition in regards to the length and depth.
All right, very well. Okay.
And I
members?
do have a short presentation if you require.
I don't think members, do we need a presentation on this? I don't think so. I'm seeing heads shake. I have one question, maybe just to follow up. So
Yes.
have you been in any discussion with the neighbors at number 70? 'Cause
They are in support of
they're
the
in support.
application.
Oh, okay, very good.
That's right. That is one of the letters on file.
Fantastic. Yeah, because I'm just looking in terms of impact here. It's a corner lot. We're really dealing with one adjacent neighbor in terms of the impact as a result of the building length and depth. Okay, good to hear. If it's all right with you, I can take this into committee, Mr. Dome.
Yes.
Okay, let's move into committee now.
Through you, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Klein,
thank you.
please.
Reviewing everything that's before us, I'm in favor of this application, and I think it's a supportable application with the modifications made to variance 2 and the agreeability of all the neighbors and the support and the tying of the variance number 3 and 4 to the site plan. So I am okay with forwarding a motion to approve if there are any comments from my colleagues.
No, Ms. Klein, I just looking, we're in line with the recommendations in the staff report. Yes, 3 and 4 to the site plan and the modification to variance number 2. Okay, so that's your motion then?
Yes.
As modified. Okay, second by Mr. Fazeli, all in favor? Okay, that's unanimous. That application as modified is approved with condition. All right. Number 11. Number 93 Risebrough Avenue. The purpose of the application is to construct a new 2-story detached dwelling with a covered front porch and rear deck. Variances include east side yard setback, rear deck setback from an east lot line, rear deck height and projection, building length, building depth, and front stair width. On file, we've got correspondence with community planning, in addition to material from the applicant. We've got our agent or applicant in person. Welcome.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, fellow committee members. Just for the record, my name is Roshan Thuru. I'm a planner at Design Plan Services, Inc., located at 87 Skyway Avenue, Suite 200.
All right. And staff, we don't have any other speakers on this item. Nobody on our list. Okay, great. All right. Members, would you like a presentation? And actually, before I, I'm going to go back to the asset again, but before I do that, do you have any modifications to make?
No, Mr. Chair.
No, no modifications. Okay, so I'll ask the question again. We need a presentation. Okay, doesn't appear so. If it's all right with you, I take this into committee.
Absolutely, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
I would like to just add quickly.
Yeah.
I did discuss this with planning staff. As per their staff report, they have no concerns. They're just recommending 2 conditions, which my client and I do not have any concerns. And I would just like to note that the proposal is minor in nature and does meet the 4 tests under Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, and will be consistent and reflect the existing established character of the street and the neighborhood. Thank you.
All right. And you're aware of the request for the opaque screening?
That's
Okay.
correct, Mr. Chair. Yes.
All right. And that'll be to the request is for that screening to be along the east side of the proposed ground floor level deck with a minimum height of 1.5 meters from the deck floor.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Very good. We're in a line, Mr. Margieri.
Just a quick question. So I understand that the building, correct me if I'm wrong, the building length is at 17 and the reason for the variances for building length and depth is because of the one-story bump out at the back, correct?
That through you, Mr. Chair, that is correct. It's just to that one-story bump out.
Okay, and if you tie it to the site plan, that would address the issue. Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's take this into committee. Oh, Ms. Sankar-Peralta.
If no one has any other sort of comments, I can make a motion. I've reviewed this thoroughly, and I think that it does meet the 4 tests. I don't have any concerns. I don't see any major concerns coming out of other planning areas, and I don't see letters of concern as well coming in from the area. I think I understand what the applicant is trying to do, and if they're willing to meet the expectations of the staff report of May 27th, I'm okay with that. And so for that reason, I'll put forward a motion to approve this application, subject to the May 27th staff report, that the setbacks of the proposed building be developed substantially in accordance with the site plan. The drawing is AS1 that was received on the committee, to the committee on May 6, 2026, and that the applicant provide permanent opaque screening or fencing along each of the proposed rear ground level deck with a minimum height of 1.5 meters from the deck. And that's along the east side of the proposed rear ground level deck.
All right, thank you for that motion, Ms. Sankar-Peralta. Mr. Margieri, is there a comment?
Just wanna see if I can add a friendly amendment in regard with variances 4 and 5, because I think these are just related to the bump out at the back. So I would also tie these 2 variances to the site plan.
Yes, so okay, I accept that friendly amendment as well.
So I will second that then.
All right, so we've got motion by Ms. Sankar-Peralta, second by Mr. Margieri. All in favor? That is unanimous. The application is approved with condition. Yes. All right, we're on to our last application of our morning session, number 12. 115 Playfair Avenue. The purpose of this application is to alter the existing 1-story detached dwelling with and construct a 1-story rear addition and rear deck patio. 2 variances being requested: building length and a reduced parking space length. On file, we've got material from the applicant. All right.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members. Ida Evangelista on behalf of the owners of 115 Playfair.
All right.
Do you need a presentation for this?
I don't think so. I have a question though.
Yeah.
It looks like they've started construction on this. Where are we at in the process? Has this been is this an as-built situation, or is this? The reason I ask is I'm noticing maybe just trying to ensure there's a little bit of consistency with respect to public notices when work has been done, at least to identify that we're dealing with as-built versus proposed. Maybe you could clarify that.
They started doing the interior renovations. They have all the materials that are stored in the back of the home. There was initially They did receive approval from zoning to go ahead, and they started the area behind the garage. And then zoning realized that there was an error in their review, and at which point in time, you know, the variance came up for the 18 meters. And then what we did was we actually squared off the back of the house. So there's no construction going on right now other than the interior renovation.
Okay, very good. But the project has started. There has been some work done that may
the home.
require. Yeah, it's you know, it's more a consistency thing. We're reviewing the applications, and I'll just note for those listening in, when we're evaluating applications, it really isn't. We don't give consideration whether something's built or not. We have to base it off the 4 tests. Just because somebody started to build something shouldn't have an impact. But I think for clarity and understanding, both of the committee members, staff, and the general public, it's helpful in the purpose if applicants and or staff who are putting these notices together can identify where we're dealing with an as-built versus proposed.
But this is not an as-built.
It
Mr.
is
Chair.
okay, very good. So it's
Yeah,
it's
this
proposed.
is the only
So we're
work
correct.
that's been started was the interior renovation, which they have approval for. But for the addition, no, this is not an as-built. no.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're correct then on the public notice. Thank you for
Yeah.
that clarification.
No
Mem-
problem.
Members, would you like a presentation from Miss Evangelista? I'm seeing heads shake. All right, if it's all right with you, I will take us into committee.
Okay, yes, I'm okay with that. It's very, you know, straightforward. We don't have any other variances. The parking space is because of the stairs on the interior. Other than that, the parking, interior parking space of the garage does comply. It's just the stairs, which underneath the stairs will be used for the, you know, the garbage and the recycle. It's very straightforward. It's a bungalow. You know, we don't have any rear yard setbacks, no landscaping variances. So I respectfully submit that this is a very good sound application.
Very good. I also thank you for the presentation material. Very helpful, very clear to understand exactly what's being asked for. Thank you for that. Okay, let's take this into committee. Yes, Mr. Marzieri.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's a very straightforward application, just 2 variances and clearly meets the 4 tests. So to me, it's supportable, and I put forward a motion to approve this application.
Okay, second by Mr. Fazeli. All in favor? Okay, that's unanimous. That application is approved.
Thank you. I will see you at 2 o'clock.
See you at 2 o'clock. All right,
Okay,
the time is 12:30. We'll adjourn. We'll be back to start 2 p.m. with item 13, 136 Cheltenham Avenue. All right, everybody have a good lunch.